Commissioner, here at the Wetlands Park, this really is such a fantastic place. I know it's just a few minutes from your house, but you wouldn't know that you're anywhere in Clark County, anywhere in the desert out here.
It's true. It's just beautiful green water. I see a duck. It is like a little piece of heaven. You wouldn't know you're in the desert.
And it's also part of our ecological system between here and Lake Mead. It's very vital. What do you know about this place?
Well, I've learned that a lot of partnerships went together to put this into being. There's going to be a wonderful new building coming on in the next couple of years, and we have 50 amazing volunteers that keep it going, and a waiting list of people who want to volunteer, and eventually they'll be able to use more volunteers when there's a new building. But we have a series of trails out here, and there's animal watching, bird watching. Lots of children come with their school groups to visit. It's just a great place to come out and connect with nature.
Commissioner, I know you have a background in education, and how important is it to get kids out here that, even kids that don't even realize they're in the desert, or they've moved here from someplace else, and the wow factor out here is truly amazing. How important is it to teach those kids that?
It's very important. I think it's really important for kids to see the plants and the animals, things that we don't always think about that exist in a desert habitat. And when there's water, to see what we have and to see how this connects to the lake and all the information that they get. It's a great educational tool.
And I know with water, you sit on a couple boards of Southern Nevada Valley Water District and the Las Vegas Valley Water District and Southern Nevada. Water is really so important here in the desert. Just kind of give us some of your thoughts on what we need to do to protect this stuff.
Absolutely important. I know that the Water Authority does take a part in this by building weirs to help hold the water back and to keep the water flowing, keep the system going. Of course, water is just life, the lifeblood of our community. Luckily, we've had a good snow year, and they'll be taking water from Lake Powell into Lake Mead, so we should be seeing the lake rise some in the next few months.
Commissioner, some of the other boards you sit on, let's see, the Family and Juvenile Justice Services Board. What is that board all about? What do you do on that one?
That board oversees the Family Services and the Justice Division, and works with some of the judges in making decisions in that oversight. And I'm also on the Board of Health, and the Health Department oversees an immense amount of services, everywhere from inspections of restaurants for the health part of things, all the way to environmental impacts and vaccinations and health needs of our communities. It's been quite a learning experience to be involved with that as well.
I think as we sit here today, I think it's your 101st day on the job as a county commissioner. Has it ever been everything you've been what you thought it would be? What surprised you? What's been the biggest challenge so far in your first?
Well, I think the vast array of services that the county provides and trying to be educated about all of those. In one meeting we'll go from airport vendors applications to water to UMC Hospital, and then the next day we'll go to zoning matters with signs and what can go in different areas of the city. So I guess it's the vast array of services and that learning curve with all of those.
And again, you've lived here for a long time and obviously served on several boards, I'm sure, with your colleagues on the Board of County Commissioners. How did that help you? How has your past experiences kind of brought you up to speed or helped you in your present job as County Commissioner?
It's been an immense help. If I hadn't had that experience, I think it would be quite overwhelming. But just to know what governance is and how to work with the board has been very helpful. And to have dealt with large budgets and large staffs and making decisions in public, that's a whole art form in itself, is to be able to be prepared to go to a meeting and to advocate for the position that you feel is right, or to learn from public input, maybe adjust your opinion and then to vote in public.
And I think it's a fairly historic time, one of the few times that there's been 7 Democrats on the board. But I think at the same time, on the county commission, quite often things are really nonpartisan or bipartisan.
Absolutely.
Party politics are completely gone. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. In fact, I feel it should be a nonpartisan position because they are almost unanimously nonpartisan issues that we deal with.
Right. I think most people forget that too. I mean, they don't see what your party affiliation is. They want you for clean water, for hospitals, for public safety, right?
Exactly. Precisely.
Let's talk about a little bit about a couple of events you've had recently, Commissioner. The St. Jude's Ranch Crossing. St. Jude's is a fantastic place out in Boulder City. Now moving into your district, in District G, the crossing's groundbreaking. It's a transitional housing for use. That's kids 18 to 25. They need help and they need a situation, and that's a very pivotal point in their life.
It's a wonderful project. It'll provide housing. A lot of the youth are transitioning out of the foster care system or leaving home and finding themselves unable to get a job in housing. And so it's a place where they can go during that transitional time, and they get a lot of help in how to write a resume, how to go do a job interview, and develop skills to get jobs and to be self-sufficient. It's a tremendous project.
And the county, it's I believe a $3.3 million project. Clark County kicked in $2 million, and this is money. Do you know where the funding sources that came from, Commissioner?
I believe it was grant money that came through the federal government. HUD also kicked in money from that, and it was the Neighborhood Preservation Stabilization Fund that did that. And so with those partnerships, the county alone couldn't have done it, and I don't believe HUD alone could have done it. But when you develop those partnerships, you can make these great things happen.
And of course, St. Jude's has been a fixture in Clark County for, I believe, almost 40 years, and it's wonderful for them to expand from Boulder City into a campus right in the valley where the people that need their services are.
Absolutely, and it's in a terrific location, close to a commercial area where they can go shopping. It's close to bus service, so they can get to jobs around town. So it's a great project. They had great leadership at St. Jude's to be able to do a project like that.
And that project is right in the neighborhood, and I thought it was fascinating that day that the neighbors right next door are obviously buying in to the point where they're going to actually volunteer and help out. Right?
Yes, they'd been really concerned about the project, and ended up working closely with St. Jude and asking for a wall and a few other things. But at the end of it, the neighbor confided that she really would like to volunteer. It was a nice thing to see.
So that's a win-win for everybody. Recently, another complex very near there, the Bob Hogan Apartments, 21 wheelchair accessible property, Accessible Space Incorporated, partnering with Clark County also as well. Talk a little bit about that project.
And again, another partnership with the federal home loans and HUD and the county, being able to put up an apartment complex for disabled. And it was amazing to me to go through that and see how things that people wouldn't normally think of, where everything was wheelchair accessible. The apartments had lower cupboards and cupboards where a wheelchair could wheel in underneath so that they could reach items, all very well thought out and wonderfully done to help that needy part of our population that are such a contributing factor but are often not thought about.
And we've talked about partnerships already in Accessible Space, Nevada Hand, a few of the other affordable housing folks in town here. Clark County has always partnered with them. And how important is it, or why does Clark County partner in projects as we've just been discussing?
I think because really committed to these citizens to have opportunities like everyone else, and then to go into these partnerships where no one of the entities could have done it themselves. I was speaking with the leaders from Accessible Space that said without that county money, they couldn't have done as nice a project and had as many things available for the handicapped inside the unit. So it does give a person a sense of pride. I think all the taxpayers would agree that it gives us a sense of pride to be able to partner in a project like that.